And go ahead and relax all the way down onto your back and get comfortable. So we call this first position we're going to do Supta Baddha Konasana. So bend your knees, place the soles of your feet together. So welcome, 60-minute flow. And before any flowing or any moving happens, just start to tune into your breath. So together, let's take one full breath. Inhale through the nose, hold your breath at the very top of your lungs. And then open your mouth and release. And then take about 5 breaths on your own. Make them real full, deep breaths, so probably deeper than you've had today. And when you exhale, really feel all the air exit your body. Good. So as you do this, breathing in through your nose is very helpful to control your breath, but it's not necessary. And as you breathe in, see if you can expand your ribs. So I want you to feel full across the sides of your body, not just the stomach. And then go ahead and reach forward, hug the knees into your chest, give yourself a little squeeze. And then set your left leg down, send it straight forward, and interlace the fingers on the back of your right knee. And lift your right leg up. Yeah. It feels kind of nice to stretch the leg. Push your leg into your hands. Yeah, so feel some resistance there. And feel your right hip push down, so your femur bone plugging down onto the floor. Nice. So with that resistance, go ahead and walk your hands up your leg. Lift your head off the ground. See how high you can crawl your hands, so maybe near the ankle. Good. And then just reach up, so you're not grabbing anything. Reach as high as you can. Last 5, 4, 3, little higher, 2, and 1. Hug both knees into your chest. And then switch. Send your right leg forward. Interlace the fingers on the back of your left leg. And lift your left leg up. So you can flex your ankles here. So I want you to resist before you stretch. Push the leg into your hand. Kind of feel the ball and socket joint of your left hip. Good. And then go ahead, walk your hands up your leg. Just kind of crawl up towards your ankle or so. And then reach up as high as you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, little higher, 1, and then relax. Hug both knees into your chest. And lift your head off the ground. Take the hands behind your head. Interlace your fingers and lift both legs straight up. And then as you inhale, lower your right leg about halfway to the ground. And then exhale, lift it back up. And then switch. Lower your left leg as you inhale. Exhale, lift it up. And then switch. Do that on your own, back and forth about 3 times each side. Try to keep your head and shoulders off the ground. You're just warming up your abdominals in the middle of your body. So you start with the heat from the inside. It'll start to work its way onto the outside. Nice. Now reach both legs up. Reach both arms up as high as you can reach for 5, 4, 3, little higher at 2, 1, and relax. Hug the knees into your chest. Nice job. I'm going to grab the backs of your legs, both hamstrings this time, but rock and roll your way back and forth. Start to gather some momentum. So just give it a few rolls. You're a kid playing around. And once you get enough momentum to come all the way up, let's meet in a standing forward fold at the front of the mat. So you can have your feet about hips distance apart, or wider if you're more comfortable. And then just catch your elbows. You're real heavy in your elbows, your head, your neck. Yeah, let's not overlook the importance of our breathing, right? So I know we took 5 deep breaths, but sometimes in these shorter length classes or hour or anything under, I'd say under 90 minutes, sometimes we don't enforce quite as much the importance of just breathing. So it's the attention to the breath that we're after. Obviously, you're going to keep breathing, right? Otherwise, if you stop, then something's wrong. Just the mind wants to adhere to one thing, desperately seeking a thought. Go ahead and change the cross of your arm so the opposite arm shifts in front. Same stretch. Maybe get a little heavier. So in today's class, I want to talk a little bit more about rocking the weight forward into the fronts of your feet. So feel that happen. Yeah, just kind of feel your toes get a little heavier. Maybe even pull your elbows forward a little bit. Just kind of see how that feels. Good, and then release your hands down. Just let them fall. And bring the hands to your shin bone, somewhere below your knees. Straighten your arms, pull your heart forward. Good, lengthen your spine. Nice, and then fold forward on your exhale. Let's do this a couple more times. So hands on your legs, pull your heart forward, lengthen out your lower back, and then fold forward on your exhale. Let's hold the last one. Hands on shins, pull your heart forward. And as you hold it, shift the weight into the fronts of your feet again. You're trying to stack your hips over your ankles. You can bend the knees, that's okay. You just want to shift the weight forward. Good, now stay here. Place the hands on your hips. Point your elbows up, so maybe your thumbs are more on your lower back here. And pull your heart forward, kind of like you're trying to back bend. Good. And then stand all the way up. And reach your arms up. Take an inhale. And just fold forward on your exhale. And reach forward and down. Good. And then stand up. Reach forward and up as you inhale. And then fold forward again on your exhale. I'm just going to do this a few more times. Standing, reaching the arms up. And folding on the way down. And inhale, stand. Exhale, fold. Nice. 3 more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, just warming up. Exhale, fold. And then last one. Inhale, stand up, reach up. And then fold forward on your exhale. Go ahead and stay here. Just drop the left foot to the back of your mat. And set your left knee down on the floor. All right. Reach your arms forward. Hook your thumbs. Pull in your thumbs and then reach your arms up. Biceps by your ears. Good. And yeah, intuitively feel your way through the pose, right? So reach up and out. You want to stretch your back hip a little bit. You want to lean back and arch your spine. Go for it. Good. Give it one more breath. And then just set your hands down. Tuck your back toes underneath. And lift your back knee up. And then twist. You're just going to reach your right arm up to the sky. As you plant your left hand down. And see if you can make the inner feet heavy here. Imagine pulling your feet to the center of your mat. Not just forward and back, but to the center of your mat. And then just breathe through it, As much information as I give you, try not to think about that information. Just kind of let it process through the body. Nice, one more breath. And then set your right hand down. You're going to hop your back foot in about 2 feet closer, maybe 3. Spin it flat on the ground. And straighten your right knee. Good. And if it feels good, you can shift the weight into your right heel here. Flex your right ankle so the toes point more up. Good. And so what that'll do is create resistance, just like when we interlaced the fingers on the back of the leg a few minutes ago. You were pushing the leg into the hands, right? Now push the leg into the floor. Nice. Go ahead and bend your right knee. Step up to the front of your mat. Step your right foot to the back of your mat. And set your right knee down. You might wiggle the knee back a little bit. Reach your arms forward. Hook your opposite thumb in front. And then reach your arms up. Yeah, and again, resist as you breathe into it. So, from the external perspective, we're definitely stretching a lot. But from the internal perspective, I want you to try to release a lot. Right? So the release happens through your brain, not through your body. It happens through your breath. And give it one more inhale. And then release both hands to the ground as you exhale. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee up, and then twist. Reach your left arm up. Yeah, sometimes we, let's say we stretch our hips, but we release an argument that we had earlier. You know, a lot about yoga is just about undoing, not about doing, but just undoing. And one more inhale. Set your left hand down on your exhale. Hop your back foot in. Again, 2-3 feet closer. And then straighten your left leg. And again, you can find that dorsiflexion, flexing your left ankle if you want a little bit of a different sensation. Yeah, nice, you guys. Bend your left knee. Step up to the front of your mat. Have your feet at least hips distance apart. I'm going to go a little wider. Feels more comfortable shoulder width for me. And then bend your knees about 90 degrees and reach your arms forward to the front of the room. All right, so this is bear pose. You want to pull your hips way back. Try to lift the muscle of your belly, but not the skin. Good. Now slowly pull the hands to your heart and then just stand up. Do that again a few more times. Inhale, sink down, reach forward, and then fold forward on your exhale. Again, inhale, bear pose, sink down. Stand up, hands to your heart. Inhale, right back into it. And then fold forward on your exhale. Inhale again. And stand. Inhale, sink deeper. And fold deeper. And 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. Nice job. Heel toe your feet together. Just have your hands at your heart. And close your eyes. And then as big as you can, take an inhale through your nose, hold your breath. Open the mouth, let it go. Nice job. Place the hands on your hips. Turn to the right, so you're going to step your right foot back. Go with the wide stance here. Yeah, pretty wide with your feet. And then just like we did earlier, thumbs on your lower back, elbows point back. So not chicken wing, point them back. And then shift the weight into the fronts of your feet and start to hinge forward, but keep the hands on the hips. All right, so the exercise here is to shift the weight into the fronts of the feet and pull your hips back with your hands at the same time. And then because of that, you're going to start to dip lower and lower and lower. Good. Now reach down, grab your ankles or your calves, whatever feels good here. Yeah, loosen up. Loosen up the neck. Loosen up the jaw. It's interesting the way the body works. You know, if you tense your body, or let's say you hold your breath, you're telling your body that you're scared of something. Right? When your eyes dart around the room, you're telling your body you're looking for an escape psychologically. Good. Now set your hands on the ground. Heel toe your feet about a foot closer together. Go a foot on each side, so 2 feet total. Nice. And then bend your knees a lot. Pivot your feet away from each other. Right? So right toes to the back, left toes to the front of the room. Then bring the hands against your inner thighs. Maybe your forearms against your inner thighs if that's better. And then I just want you to kind of push the knees open and just sway a little left and right. See how that feels. Yeah, so today's class is a nice mixture of holding postures and then kind of moving organically like we are now. Gonna feel the organic sway. And we'll get to do this one a little bit later. For now, come into neutral. Open your arms like a letter T. And wrap your right arm underneath your left arm. We call this eagle wrap. Girudasana arms. Lift your elbows up. And round your upper back. And then just try to sink a little bit deeper without reacting. Good. Now stand up, open your arms. And then do it again. Bend your knees, wrap the other arm underneath, same stretch. You lift your elbows up a little bit. So you can lengthen your rib cage. That's it, just an inch deeper here. And one more inhale. Open the arms and stand up. Place the hands on your hips. Step to the front of your mat again. Bring your feet together to touch. And then go with the same hand position. Thumbs on your lower back. Point your elbows back. Lift your heel. So now you're on the balls of your feet, kind of like the tippy toes. Keep the elbows pointing back and start to lean forward. So you're hinging from your waist. And you're trying to fold forward on your tippy toes. It's difficult. Good. Feel the hands push on the hips. So now you're forced to be in the fronts of your feet. Nice. Now set your hands down. Keep your heels up. Hands down, heels up. Good. Try to get more of your hand down. So it's okay to bend the knees. Maybe your palms are even flat. If not, all 10 fingertips at least. And then for 3 breaths, put as much weight into your hands as you can. Good. Nice. And then let your heels come down. Hands on your shins. Pull your heart forward. Lengthen your spine. And then plank position. Step to the back of your mat. Nice. Good. Just hold your plank position. Just feel the upper body strength. Good. Bring your feet together and roll onto the outer edge of your left foot. Reach your right arm up. You're welcome to set the left knee down here. You really have to justify that. As we practice, you have to practice moderation and modification. It's a lifelong practice, yoga is. It's not like a week-long commitment, boot camp style. But we all modify at some point. Go ahead and switch. Right hand down. Roll onto the outer edge of your right foot. Reach your left arm up. So yeah, if you're real flexible, it's a tough pose. You got to stabilize from your core. Kind of feel the hips so they don't move much. Good, and then do the plank, but do it on your forearms, on your elbows. So you're in a forearm plank. Good, now let's just hold it for about half a minute. And when we hold it, I want you to engage correctly. So what that means is you want to look a little in front of your mat, just a little bit. You want to drop your tail a little towards your heels, kind of tuck it. Yeah, so you might shake a little bit, 20 seconds left. So I guarantee you the guy that held this for 9 hours and set the world record, he didn't engage while he held it, right? He just held it, right? 10 seconds. Good, and very lightly lie all the way down onto your belly. Reach the arms straight back down by your sides. And then lift what you can. Lift everything. Work from the lower body. Feet, knees, chest, head. Good. So it's not like you're trying to lift as high as you can possibly lift. I'm interested, though, in the feet. Can the feet lift a little higher? So you're not overdeveloping your upper back muscles. You're equally developing everything. Let's give it one more inhale, and then turn your face to the right. Relax all the way down. Nice. Let's do one more, but this time with the hands on the back of your head. Interlace your fingers. All right, lift your elbows, lift your head and feet, your knees. And just feel your posterior chain. Most important muscles that you have are right here. Now don't move your hands, just bend your knees for the last 3 breaths. And then maybe push your head towards your feet up for 2. That's to give me one more inhale. Now turn your opposite cheek to the ground and relax. Good. Let's all take a child's pose together. Push the hips on the heels. Soften the forehead down to the ground. And truly just take these few breaths to become present. And I feel like it's maybe the biggest problem that I see in our society these days, just a lack of presence. So we unroll our mat to practice exactly that. And whatever comes up that day, that's ultimately the yogic element, right? How we cope with what we have in our lives. Just kind of think about that. If you need child's pose on your own, just take it from here on out on your own. Downward facing dog, hands and knees as you inhale. Curl the toes and lift your hips up and back as you exhale. Good. And yeah, if you need to walk your dog, walk your dog. Nice. So go ahead and bring the right knee to your nose, shift forward and round your spine. And then try to step with your heel first next to your right thumb, crescent pose. Reach your arms forward and up, hook your thumbs. Good. Draw down a bit with your tail, but for today, a little more focus on the right hip, pulling back. Yes. So that's your balance point. Seems like it's your feet, but it's really your hips. Nice. Now place the hands on your hips. Point your elbows back, just like we've been doing, and lean halfway forward like that. Feel the length in your spine. Now use your left foot. Shift your left heel higher up, and eventually, in coordination with your right hip, pulling back, lift your left leg up. So you're in warrior 3. We're going to do it twice today. This is the first one. On the first one, I just want to see if you can bend your standing knee, but not let anything else change. So can you bend it and hold it as much as you can tolerate? Maybe an inch, maybe a foot. Nice. Now think more of a traditional chair pose. Set your left foot next to your right foot and reach both arms up into the air. Take 3 breaths. To pull your hips away from your fingertip. But imagine wearing a corset around your waist, lengthening out your spine. So give it one more breath and then stand up. Bring the hands to your heart. And then come right back to chair pose. Take 1 breath. Fold forward on your exhale, fingers to the ground. Now lengthen your spine, flat back, and step your left foot to the back of your mat. Come back to plank, or maybe 3-legged plank if you want more of a challenge. You could just hover your right foot an inch off the ground. Good. Nice. Now with your right foot on the ground, shift forward an inch. Just go halfway down. It's a push-up. Press straight up, downward facing dog on your exhale. Nice job. Good, really nice job. Hug the left knee to your nose, round your spine and shift forward. Yeah, step lightly next to your left thumb tip and reach all the way up, forward and up. Hook your thumbs. Good. Posterior tilt of your pelvis. But again, for today, just a little bit more focus on that left hip drawing back. Inner thighs hugging in. Good. Nice. Now keep everything else the same. Hands to your hips. Point your elbows back like they're going to touch. And then tilt forward. So you're just an extension of your right leg. All right. Use your right foot. Lift your right heel higher and just glide into warrior 3. Yeah. So it kind of helps you avoid hopping and jumping. That's beautiful warrior 3s. Now, if you want to bend that left knee a little bit, keep that left hip pulling back to keep your balance. Yeah. You're just recruiting your left glute muscle to help you do the work. Good. Now think chair pose again. Set your right foot next to your left. Sink a little bit deeper. 3 breaths. Now when you reach your arms a little higher, try not to stick your butt out. 2. So give it 1 more breath. And then stand up, hands to your heart. Right back to chair pose. Inhale, 1 breath. Fold forward on your exhale. Almost time to flow, not quite. Flat back inhale. Step your right foot to the back of your mat. Plank position or 3-legged plank if you want to hover your left foot an inch above the ground. If you do that, don't sag your belly. Now with both feet down, shift forward an inch. Now very slowly take an inhale and then lower all the way down to the ground. First cobra today. Or upward facing dog. Press your toes back, stretch your chest open. Downward facing dog with a bit of devotion, which basically means commitment, guys, right? And when you're doing something, do it, truly, commit. Good, and then lift your heels up. And as you inhale, bend your knees, look forward. You can walk, step, or lightly jump to the top of your mat as you exhale. Flat back inhale. Fold on your exhale. Chair pose. Bend the knees, sink down, reach high. And then stand up, hands to your heart. That's your midline. Right back to chair pose. Inhale, one breath. Fold in half on your exhale. We're going to flow a bit. Flat back inhale. Move at your own rhythm. Step or jump back. Lower slowly. Upper body strength. Cobra on your inhale. Maybe upward facing if you choose. Down dog. Exhale. Few breaths here. And there's good news. Right? It's yoga, guys. You can't lose. You can't win either. In fact, I think you already did win just by showing up today. It's a victory. It's probably why we call it victory breath. Lift your heels. Inhale, bend your knees. Walk, step, or jump to the top of your mat as you exhale. Flat back on your inhale. Fold in on your exhale. Chair pose twice. Bend the knees to reach high. Stand up, hands to your heart. Right back to chair pose. Inhale, Utkatasana. Fold forward. Exhale, Uttanasana. Flat back on your inhale. Step or float the feet back. Lower on your exhale. But on your inhale, dance with your breath and open your spine. Down dog, exhale, steady breath, steady mind. Nice. And as much as it would be nice to do that a few more times, we're just going to do it one more time together. So with your heels lifting and your knees bending, inhale. Look forward, stepping or floating on your exhale. Flat back inhale. Fold on your exhale. Chair pose. Bend the knees, sink down to reach up. Stand up, hands to your heart. Right back to chair pose, one breath. Fold in half on your exhale. Flat back inhale like you're dancing. Step or jump the feet back. Do it without collapsing. Lower slow. Cobra upward facing. Feel the rhythm in your flow. Down dog, hips high, head low. Just breathe. Yeah, and this point could be kind of exciting. You know, you got the blood flowing a little bit. Yeah, it reminds me, though, of happiness and how excitability is not related to happiness at all. In fact, I think we have an overexcited society these days. Peacefulness, however, is directly linked to happiness. So see if you can do the rest of the practice as peaceful as possible. Lift your right leg up. And then bring the right knee towards your right elbow. Think plank pose when you pull forward. So you're pulling your heart forward when you're in this position. You might even practice bending your elbows just a little bit if you can keep from dropping your chest down. Nice. Inhale, lift your right leg back. And then step right between your two hands. Spin your back foot flat. We call it warrior two. Windmill the left arm open so that it's behind you. I think I mentioned earlier we had kind of a nice mixture today of holding some postures and organically moving. This is an opportunity to hold the posture, not your breath. Let the breath continue to move. And then for me, this pose is all about the eyes. And for you, there's a good chance there's a lot of it there too. So can you just commit your eyes to one place? And if you don't know how to do that, you just close them. Surrender the eyes. And then all of a sudden, all those little tiny movements that we want to do just kind of drift away. Except the fact that you have some teacher reminding you of all these little movements that you want to do. So you can sink just a little bit deeper into your right leg. Good. Very nice. Good. So we all kind of carry a different amount of tension in our body. And I don't mean flexibility. I just mean like we have a clenched fist in the middle of our body. Start to unclench that fist. It's an analogy. Just kind of undo it. Oh, come on, almost there. Just sink a little tiny bit into it. So that's a stretch. This is a release. Straighten your right leg. Pivot your right foot in. Parallel your feet. Swing the hands behind you. Interlace your fingers. And take a nice inhale. Lift your chest. Go ahead and release and bow forward on your exhale. Yeah, and that's just it. You know, sometimes it's difficult to find a release unless we put ourselves through a bunch of tension. So now you should feel a kind release to your neck. You just kind of feel like the stress is dripping off the crown of your head. So from here, let's go ahead and set the hands on the ground. Walk your hands in front of you onto the wood floor, just like 6 inches in front of the mat onto the wood floor. And then plant your palms flat and lift your heels really high. So push with the strength of your arms. Now bring the chin to your throat a little bit so you're rounding your spine. And we're just going to hold it for about 4 breaths. So really straighten those arms and press. You're pushing so much, your feet one day might just lift up from the strength of your arms. 3 more breaths. In fact, if you wanted to do this, you could bend both of your knees and hop the feet off the ground a couple times. Last 2. Good. Last one here. And then release. Walk your hands back onto your mat. Nice job. Heel toe your feet a foot closer on each side. All right. Goddess pose. Pivot your feet away from one another. And then bring the hands against your inner thighs. This time look to the left and drop your right shoulder down. And then switch. Do that a couple times. So kind of back to that organic movement. You're not kind of following the cadence of what somebody else wants you to do. You're just kind of following your own internal metronome. Kind of finding that personal algorithm within the landscape of your own mind. Good. And we will get to do this again. So come back to neutral. And then tee the arms open to the side. Try to stack your shoulders over your hips. And then this time, take your right arm, reach it up, and take your left hand behind your back. You're going to try to catch your hands behind around your shoulder blades. And if you can't do it, a great option is just to grab your right elbow with your left hand. All right? Now, if you're tight, you're going to have to look down at the floor here. Try not to stick your ass out too much. Good. Nice, you guys. And then can you sink a little bit deeper? You don't want to feel frozen. You just want to feel still. Yeah, let the knees bend. Both knees are bent. There we go. Good. Now all you're going to do is look to the right, right? Stay like that with your arms, and then straighten your legs. Put your legs in warrior 2. Bend your right knee a lot. Slide your left foot back a lot. Good. And then get your chest to face the left side of the room. Yeah, so exactly. Both nipples face the left side of the room. And then find reverse warrior like this. So pull back a little bit. Let the right side of your body open. One of my favorite stretches here. And it might feel nice to actually extend the arms. So if you want to, reach that right arm all the way to the back of the room. You can slide your left hand down your left leg. Give me one more inhale, expressively reach, and then downward facing dog when you're ready, hands to the floor. And if you want to take one of those vinyasas, you can do it super slow. Just do it with integrity. Nice, you guys. Let's take a big inhale through the nose and a deep breath out. Let's say lift your left leg high. Get a nice and long 3-legged dog. And then bring the left knee toward your left elbow. Think plank as you pull your heart forward. So again, your eyes go a little in front of your mat. Your back leg is strong. You might train your elbows to bend a little bit. If you do that, imagine pulling your elbows to touch. That's it. And then inhale, lift your left leg all the way back. Knee to nose, step right between your hands, warrior 2. Back foot spins flat, windmill the right arm all the way open so it's behind you. And oh shit, here we go again. And instead of looking at it as a chore, look at it as an opportunity. And that's how you know the practice is working off the mat. You start to view everything like an opportunity. Somebody honks at you, flips you off. Oh, there's an opportunity. God. Oh, the waiter forgot to take my order 20 minutes later. There's an opportunity. Good. And nobody's making you hold the arms up. If your arms need to take a moment to relax, no shame in that. But as you sink a little deeper, can you kind of get a little deeper into your posture and into your breathing? Yeah. Very close. Look for the release. Mhm. Now, keeping your arms like they are, just straighten your left leg. Pivot your left foot in. And swing the hands behind you again. Interlace your fingers one over. Take an inhale, lift your chin. And then bow forward on your exhale. Ah, there it is. Now I see what he's doing. He's just trying to get me to hold a posture to find my personal edge so that the next pose that comes will feel so much more amazing, more gratifying. Set your hands down. Walk your hands onto your mat, under you. So forget about technique. If you want to just hold this, just hold it. If you wanted to go upside down into a tripod headstand, you kind of make the hands like the base of the triangle. Fingers point forward, head to the ground in front of your hand. And maybe you just hang out here, crawl over to one leg or the other. Allow about 20 more seconds wherever you are. That's just about 5 breaths or less. Nice. Wherever you are, do one more of those goddess poses. Just heel toe the feet about a foot closer each side. Bend your knees, pivot your feet out. Hands or forearms against your inner thighs. And again, look to the left, drop your right shoulder down, and then switch a few times. Yeah, so looking left and right, sway a little left and right. It's a primitive practice, right? You don't want to feel like you're ever in a box. All right, come into neutral. Tee the arms open to the side. Stack your shoulders over your hips. Reach your left arm up, right hand behind your back. Try to connect your hands. This is the side the right-handed people have trouble with. So feel free to grab the top of your left elbow with your right hand if you'd like, since most people are right-handed. And this time, if you're able to, lift your heels up. You're going to feel the balls of your feet strong, your calf muscles tense. Now, shaking is a good thing unless it's out of fear, right? Now look to the left. Let your heels touch down. Last breath. Straighten your legs. Put your legs in warrior two. Keep your arms exactly like they are. Nipples face the red side of the room. Pull the left elbow back. Reverse the warrior with that deep stretch in the left rib cage. Nice. You're here for 3 breaths. If you feel like you've had enough of the arm stretch, then go ahead. Send that left arm, straighten it back, right hand down your leg, 2. So give it one more breath to do. Downward facing dog, hands to the ground, step it back. And then lower slow if you want. Cobra, upward facing. Downward facing dog on your exhale. Good. If you have a jump through practice, jump through to lie down on your back. Otherwise, drop your knees down, cross your ankles, sit down, and lie down on your back. Hug the knees into your chest. Lift both legs straight up to the ceiling. Take the hands behind your head, interlace your fingers. Lift your head and shoulders. Lower your right leg halfway as you inhale. Lift it up on your exhale. Left leg inhale. We did this earlier. Lift it up. Bless you. Do this a few more times. A lot of people are allergic to core exercises. Good. So it's easy to lift the head, right? The shoulders a little more challenging. Good. Just do it with your breath. It's not going to last a long time. If you want it to last longer, come back to the 90-minute class later today. So it doesn't matter which leg you're on. Just hold one leg down and one leg up. And as you hold it, just try to lift a little bit higher. And legs are still. Nice. Switch. One leg up, one leg down. Hold it. Don't hold your breath. Don't pull on your head much. Just lift your shoulders. Nice. Hug the knees into your chest. Nice job. Such a nice job. We'll do it one more time. Take the hands behind your head. Interlace your fingers. A little different this time. Parallel your shins to the floor. So move your feet forward a little bit more. And then lift your chest up. Turn to the right. Straighten your left leg straight forward. Yes, inhale back to center. And as you turn left, straighten your right leg forward. Inhale, center. Exhale, switch. Inhale on your own, just about 5 times. Good. So I'm not interested in ab exercises, right? I'm interested in core stability, right? One insinuates that it's really aesthetic, almost narcissistic. The other one insinuates security, protecting, right? Safety, health, wellness. So it doesn't matter which leg you're on. Just hold one leg straight and turn to that other direction. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And see if you can pick up that shoulder off the ground. Slowly switch. Other leg straight. Turn to the other side and just hold it. Don't hold your breath. Do it peacefully. Good. Take the knees into your chest. Give them a hug. Nice job. Take happy baby pose. Catch the outer edges of your feet. Plug the knees down. Rock a little side to side. Good. Just take about 5 breaths. Really deep, wide breath. Feel the kidney band expand a little bit. And then as you release your feet, go ahead and make your way up to a seated position, but on your feet, so a yogi squat. All right, you can get your heels down and lift your chest up. And just regain your focus, your balance. And if you just breathe evenly, everything balances out. It's like your breath is the barometer for everything else, to know what's out of whack. You can analyze it all day long. You don't have to understand what's happening. You just got to breathe. That's it. Release your hands to the ground. Fold forward. Pivot your feet into parallel. Feet shoulder distance. And we're going to stand on our hands here. Lift your toes. Slide your hands underneath the bottoms of your feet. So not the kind of handstand you might have thought, but a literal one. So I know the trend these days is to do the handstand by having your feet up in the air, but this is the longevity handstand. So yeah, slide the hands all the way underneath the bottoms of your feet. Nice job. And then downward facing dog, last standing series to go. Just got a few standing poses left. All right, so this time lift your right leg up, bend your right knee, and open the hip. And then right knee to your left elbow, turn it underneath and across. But think plank with your upper body, so your heart pulls forward. You might even train your elbows to bend a little bit if you don't drop your chest. Elbows are towards each other. Nice. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Step by your right thumb, this time back foot flat. We're going to come into warrior one. So reach your arms straight up above. So warrior one, you want to try to get that right hip to pull back, steering it with your left foot. But I want to do the prayer hands behind the back, right? So reverse the prayer hands. Right? And for a lot of us, that ain't happening, right? So you can catch your opposite elbows behind your back. Good. Or you can touch your fists together. Yeah, take the different option. Grab your elbows. There you go. And then lean forward with a straight spine. So that means either 45-degree angle, or maybe you kind of lay over your thigh, but you're not trying to go all the way down here. So to keep a flat back, it takes core strength, right? We kind of figured that out in the beginning of class. Good. So make sure you're not resting on your thigh. Beautiful. Now do your prayer hands in front of your heart. twist to the right. Hook your left elbow outside of your right thigh. Now, if it were me, I would lift my left heel off the ground. If it were me 12 years ago, I'd probably keep my back foot flat. You know, it kind of depends on where you are with your practice. Sometimes less is more. The back foot flat allows for more flexion, more turning, more torquing of your spine. Good. And then place the hands on your hips and look straight down. Point your elbows up. So we've been here before. We've been rehearsing for this. Lift your back leg up, just gliding into warrior three. Now bend your standing knee a little bit. And then like a teeter-totter, I want you to lift your left leg higher and higher and get your head lower and lower. And you can straighten the right leg as you wish. If you're tight, it ain't going to happen. You're like a teeter-totter. Try to get your head lower to the ground. Some of your teeter-totters look stuck. There we go. Drop your hands to the ground. Lift your right heel up. Walk your hands forward a little bit first. Plant your palms flat. Give all the weight into your hands and lift your right heel as high as possible. 4 breaths. If you want to hop into handstand, do it on your own. Otherwise, just press with your hands. 2. Nice. Give me 1 more hop. And then we're just going to land in the splits. Drop step your left foot to the back of your mat. Set your left knee down and straighten your right leg. Just straighten it. Yeah, flex your right ankle. Point the toes up to the ceiling. And you can push through your heel here. Drag your heart forward. Look for the release. And very delicately find a pigeon pose. Bend your right knee, heel toe your right foot over to the left side of your mat. You guys need to modify this. You could always chill out on your back. Take thread the needle or reclining pigeon or something that doesn't irritate your knee or your lower back. You know, the hips are right there connected to your spine. Anytime you feel a funky sensation, you got to ask yourself, is this right for me? And as long as it is, just breathe deep. And now take your time, come back to your hands. 3-legged dog, you're going to swing that right leg all the way back, open up that hip. Flipping it out here is optional. If you're healthy in your right shoulder, or I should say your left shoulder, then you could drop that right foot onto the wood floor over to your left and maybe reach to the front of the room. Good, and let's meet back and down dog. Last standing side to go. Before we do it, let's take a lion's breath together. Big inhale through your nose. Stick your tongue out. Nice. Lift your left leg back. Bend the knee, open the hip. Same place will end. Left knee to your right elbow. Turn across and twist. Think plank. Pull your heart forward. Maybe micro bend your elbows. Pull your elbows towards each other. Inhale, swing your left leg back. Good. Warrior 1, step by your left thumb and spin your back foot flat. Reach all the way up. Get your hips as level as you can. And then take the prayer hands behind your back or fists or elbows. Same thing. When you're ready, lean forward with a straight spine, 45 degrees or so. Good. And you're just compacting the hips, right? Good. And then once you feel like you can't go anywhere, that's a good place to just breathe. Reinforce the anchor of your back leg, strengthen your lower belly. Good. Now stay here. Just do the prayer hands in front of your heart. Twist to the left and hook your right elbow outside of your left knee. Feel free to lift your right heel here. If it were me, I probably would. Good. But if you're going to lift that heel, commit. And feel the right leg strong and steady. You got one last standing pose to go. It's the toughest one of the day, but it's subjective. Hands to your hips, point your elbows up. Shift higher with your right heel. Eventually lift your back leg up. You're a teeter-totter. Maybe teeter-totters are outdated. Think about a surfboard, right? Dip your head lower to the ground and lift your right leg higher. I bend my left knee to start because it takes the stress out of the hamstring and it lets your spine just tilt. Yes. Bonus points if you can lift your left heel now. Good luck with that. Little bit lower with the head, little bit higher with the leg. Drop your hands to the ground. Walk your hands forward a little bit, just about another 8 inches. Plant your palms flat and lift your left heel as high as you can lift your left heel. If you want to hop, hop. Otherwise, push to lift your left heel higher for 4. Or you're just hopping for 3. Good. Last 2. Lots of strength in your arms here. We're going to land in the splits in 1. Drop step your right foot to the back edge of your mat. Set your right knee down. And straighten your left leg. Should feel nice. Nice, you guys. Just take a few breaths. Should feel nice. We kind of started with the hamstring today. Now it comes full circle. Get one more release out of the hammy. Good. And then find your pigeon pose. Bend your left knee, heel toe your left foot over to the right. Make sure it makes sense for you. Yeah, find that deep surrender, that deep release of control. Control the only things that we can, right? Very few things we can actually control. The breath is one of those things. Nice. Now take your time. Slowly come all the way back up. Last down dog. First, if you want to open your hip again, flip it out like you did before. You're welcome to do that. Nice. And then we'll meet in this last down dog on our forearms. It's only going to last for a few breaths. On your forearms, walk your feet in a little closer like a down dog. And then if you can do it, lift your right leg up. Just get nice and lifted with the legs. Kind of feel the blood tilting from your ankle to your knee down to your hip. Good. And then just switch. Right foot down, lift your left leg back, up. Give it a couple deep breaths. Nice. And then set your left foot down, drop your knees, cross your ankles, have a seat behind your heels, and extend the legs straight out in front of you. Good. So bring the feet together. Point your toes forward. So yeah, legs straight, feet together. And then point the fingers out like so and lift your hips up. Point your toes forward, thrust your hips to the ceiling. Open your chest. Imagine pushing your toes into the ground. Yeah, corkscrew your hands, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Good, and then set your hips down, reach your arms up, take an inhale. Fold over your legs on your exhale. And take a last few breaths. Nice. Give it one more breath. And go ahead and relax all the way down onto your back as you exhale. And take about 1 minute to get comfortable. So if you have a bridge pose you want to do, or if you wanted to lift your legs up for another minute, you're welcome to do that. Either way, just about a minute from now, we'll all be on our backs relaxing in Shavasana. Maybe you're already there. Maybe that's what you need. Nice. Just about half a minute left here. Good. Nice, you guys. And as we just kind of settle into this final resting pose, yes, you can just throw in the towel. And let your eyes close. You can let your palms turn up. And then kind of like how we started, as big as you can, take an inhale through your nose and hold your breath for 5, 4, 3, and then sip in a little bit more oxygen here. 2, 1, and then blow it out. And then just let go. Let your breath come back to natural. Let everything unwind. And just feel that clenched fist. And the analogy of the clenched fist in the middle of your body, just kind of feel it unwind. Like any of your stress just melt away. And the deeper you let go, the deeper the reward will be. And from here, just deepen the breath. No need to rush, no need to even get up yet. Place the right hand over your belly, the left hand over your heart. Notice how you feel. You don't have to feel anything special or, dare I say, spiritual. Just notice how you feel. That should be enough. And give yourself a thank you for showing up and And as those around you, a little internal thank you for supporting your practice with their presence, their energy. Let's just take one more breath together. Big inhale through the nose and let that out. Namaste.